The Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is finally here, and if you follow me on socials, you know I've had it for a bit, and having used it for a while, I have thoughts and lots of them. Some good, some not so good, and a few that make me wonder what Samsung was thinking. I'm gonna share with you, and so without taking much of your time, yo guys, let's get started. Alright, first things first, the design. Samsung decided to go with the rounding off edges, which honestly feel way better in their hand than the boxy look of last year's S24 Ultra. But here's where it gets a little weird for me. I kind of missed the curved sides from the other device. The flat sides here look clean and modern. In fact, it looks more like the A series from Samsung and even the iPhones or the new Pixel devices. But there's just something about those curves that felt more premium and comfortable in my hand. Maybe it's just me. Also, Samsung now added camera rings at the back, which makes the camera module a little more pronounced. That's not a huge deal, but you'll notice it, as well as noticing how dust will, get stuck up in the gap between the body and these camera rings. It's difficult to clean out. See, this device is now 15 grams lighter, and you can notice it. Still retains the titanium frame, same IP68 rating, also expected IP69 for this device. You also get a tougher Gorilla Glass Armor 2 this time, and that's for better scratch resistance. As far as design and build quality, this is up there. By the way, all my S24 Ultra cases still work with this device. It might not be a snug fit, but they work just fine. Samsung has stepped up the audio game with the S25 Ultra. The speakers have been improved significantly, delivering clearer highs and deeper bass, and that makes listening to music and watching videos even more immersive. You'll notice a richer, fuller sound, and if you've used the S24 Ultra, the difference is clear. It actually sounds better than the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and in my opinion, I really love this device's speakers. Now let's talk about the S Pen. It's still here, and it's still one of the main reasons why people buy the Ultra devices. But Samsung somehow decided to downgrade this S Pen. They removed the Bluetooth functionality and the gesture support, which means no more remote camera shutter or air gestures. Also, fun fact, the S Pen from last year's Ultra doesn't fit in this one, even though it works interchangeably. Samsung loves making little tweaks that force you to upgrade your accessories. The display though is absolute perfection. Samsung did what Samsung does best. It's now a 6.9-inch QHD AMOLED display, and that's an additional 0.1-inch to this screen. And that's because they shrank the bezels even more, and it feels like you're just holding a screen in your hand. The refresh rate is still 120Hz, LTPO or adaptive refresh rate of course, and they've improved the anti-reflective coating and made it even better than the S24 Ultra, making outdoor visibility way better. Samsung also introduced the Pro Scaler thing that somehow makes content even sharper, like using AI to upscale low-quality content. Not only do you get a usable outdoor panel because of the anti-glare coating, you also get 2600 nits of brightness outdoors, which is the same as before on the S24 Ultra. Samsung has always been top tier with displays, and this is no exception. Now let's talk about performance, because this is a beast. We're rocking the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset across the lineup, no Exynos version this time for anything on the S25 series. And get this, it's about 40% faster than last year's chip and 35% better on the GPU side. This means smoother gaming, faster app launches, and improved power efficiency, making sure that even with high refresh rate and demanding tasks, this smartphone stays cool thanks to a larger vapor chamber cooling system. For benchmarks, the S25 Ultra pulls an insane Antutu score of over 2 million, putting it among the top fastest smartphones. Geekbench numbers are just as impressive, showing major gains in both single-core and multi-core performance, making it one of the most powerful smartphones on the planet. But what really matters is how this smartphone feels, and let me tell you something, it's smooth. Like as smooth as the S24 Ultra from last year, and even better. So if you're expecting to feel a massive difference in daily use, you won't. But that's not a bad thing because it means last year's phone was already ahead of the game. Multitasking is a breeze and gaming performance is just flawless. Games like Genshin Impact, Call of Duty Mobile, and PUBG all run at the max settings without breaking a sweat. And thanks to the AI-based performance optimizations in One UI 7, the system intelligently manages background processes to keep things running smooth and efficiently without unnecessary battery drain. One UI 7, which is on top of Android 15, brings some fresh design tweaks, and which I really like. They introduced this Now bar, which is like Apple's dynamic island. It shows the media controls, timers, and other useful stuff. It's pretty neat. Samsung is also pushing AI features hard, and there are some really useful features on this device. The generative fill in the editor AI is insanely good. It lets you manipulate images in ways that previously only were possible on a desktop. Then there's this daily briefs or Now Brief, which is supposed to summarize relevant updates for you. To be honest, I don't fully understand that feature or how useful it is. Maybe it's still learning about me, but so far, it's just there. There is now natural language search in the gallery, and that's finally because Google has always had this in Google Photos, making it easier than ever to find specific images by just describing them. Also, here's the kicker. AI features are free until the end of 2025, but after that, what happens? I mean, no one knows. Samsung hasn't said if they'll start charging or if they'll keep it free. We'll have to wait and see. As always, Samsung is committed to bringing you 7 years of updates, which is top of the line for Android devices. One of the super interesting AI features on this device, the S25 Ultra, is how I took a photo of my face with my palm on my face and I was able to remove it and reconstruct what it thinks my face should look like. I don't know if this was done by analyzing the photos of my face on this smartphone or it just winged it. Does this actually look like me? Let me know in the comment section below. Speaking of improvements, Samsung finally bumped up the ultra-wide camera. It's now better in low light, and overall, the camera feels more balanced in exposure. The main 200 megapixel sensor is pretty much the same as last year, which is a little disappointing. I would have loved a sensor upgrade here, but at least they added some cool software tricks. There's also this new smooth zoom feature in the camera app that transitions between lenses without that jarring jump, and I like it. For the video side of things, you can now shoot in low for all the cameras except the selfie camera, which is kind of weird. Some other great AI-powered tools for the video include the audio eraser, which lets you remove unwanted background noise in the videos. There's also the best face feature, something lifted straight out of the Pixel lineup, allowing you to swap faces in group shots for the best expression. And if you're into video, you can tap on a clip to get instant slow motion. The rear photo cameras are really good, though I wouldn't call them the absolute best on the market. For that, I still prefer what the Vivo X200 Pro does in certain situations. But make no mistake, these are right up there with the top players. Samsung has nailed the color reproduction and accuracy. Colors are natural and accurate, not overly saturated like we've seen with the older Galaxy devices. When it comes to long distance shots, the S25 Ultra still really stands out. You're getting more reach and detail than on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. That said, at 20x and 30x zoom, there are moments where I felt like the S24 Ultra produced slightly better color balance. It's a small thing but worth mentioning for zoom enthusiasts. The 5x optical zoom, I'll be honest here, is just brilliant. It delivers sharp and detailed images, making it super handy for getting closer without sacrificing quality. The 50 megapixel ultra-wide lens is also a game changer. Ultra-wide shots have become more detailed and there's this better dynamic range compared to the previous models. It's something you'll notice right away if you're coming from an older Samsung device. When it comes to portrait shots, this has easily some of the best photos I've captured on a smartphone. Subject separation is on point and the skin tones look fantastic. The front-facing camera doesn't disappoint. It's held up well against the Vivo X200 Pro and even against the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Selfies look clean, with good dynamic range, and also skin tones that are not overly processed. Video performance is another highlight. You can shoot up to 8K 30fps, but I still prefer sticking to 4K for a more manageable file size. This time around, video quality feels much closer to the iPhone's level. It's not quite there yet, especially in lower light where you might notice some noise, but it's still a solid video camera. The front-facing camera is also good for videos. It does a great job at exposure handling and dynamic range. I really can't complain about this one with this 12 megapixel sensor. Here's how it compares with the Vivo. This smartphone records in log, and let me show you what it looks like. So while you watch what the logs look like from this device, are you worried your loved ones might find it difficult transferring data or switching phones? Let's talk about Dr.Fone, a tool I use to transfer data. Just like log gives you full control of your footage, that's the way Dr.Fone gives you control of migrating data between devices. Say you get a new smartphone like the S25 Ultra right here, and you also had an iPhone 16 Pro Max and you need to switch your data from that phone to this one. That's where Dr.Fone comes in. With this app, you can easily transfer your photos, the images, music, videos, and all your data from your old device over to your new device without hassle. I mean, Dr.Fone is just one click away. Seriously, whether you're moving from an iPhone to an Android or the other way around, or maybe between Android devices, it's got you covered. By the way, here's what a graded log look from the S25 Ultra looks like. Let me know what you think about the color. Is it better than the regular color? Now back to Dr.Fone. To use Dr.Fone, you can easily Google it or use your favorite search engine to search for it. Install on your PC or MacBook. From here, you can connect to your devices, two of the devices to your PC, and click on phone transfer. From here, select the data you need to move, which could be photos or videos and all that, and it should work seamlessly. And just like that, you're done. Make sure to check out Dr.Fone using the link in the description box below, or maybe Google it and find it to download on your PC. By the way, you can only record in log using the rear cameras on the S25 Ultra and not using the front-facing camera. Yeah, that's there. The battery life here is solid but not mind-blowing. Same 5000 mAh battery as last year, but it lasts longer because of the efficiency of the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset. On regular use, you're getting about 8 to 10 hours screen on time, which is great, and that depends on what's regular for you. But here's the thing. I really wish they bumped it up to 5500 mAh or even 6000, just like some other devices have done by going the silicon carbide battery route instead of the lithium ion we have on this device. Also, bumping up the charge from 45 watts wire charging would have been great on this device, but we're still here. Still same 25 watts wireless charging and 4.5 watts reverse wireless charging. No real upgrade aside the fact that the processor here would be more efficient and give you about 10% more juice than the predecessor, and that works, I guess. You can currently get the S25 Ultra for a starting price of $1299 or 2,030,000 naira here in Nigeria. By the way, you can check out wirehub.com to buy your gadgets and devices like this device. At this price point, this is more expensive than the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and reasonably so. There are a ton of features on this device and somehow I can justify that in my head. For instance, the S Pen, the zoom capability, the display, the list goes on. But that doesn't mean this device doesn't have its own quirks. One weird decision I've been itching to talk about aside the S Pen is the Qi wireless charging. So Samsung added Qi 2 wireless charging, but not the magnets that will make it work like MagSafe. So you have to buy a case with inbuilt magnets to actually use that feature. So why not give us the full feature? I'd have to use cases like this one with MagSafe to enjoy that feature. I honestly hope that was coming with the S25 Ultra. So my final thoughts. This is one of the least exciting flagship upgrades we've had in years, but at the same time, it's actually a bigger improvement than I expected. But if you have an S24 Ultra, you probably don't need to upgrade. But if you're coming from an older Samsung smartphone or anything else, really, this is one of the most capable Android smartphones on the market right now. The display is the best in the business, performance is top tier, and the cameras are slightly better. A better ultra-wide camera, and the S Pen is still a unique feature you won't find elsewhere, even if it's slightly nerfed. Would I recommend this smartphone? If you're into premium Android devices and experiences, absolutely. But if you're looking for something completely groundbreaking, well, you might be a little underwhelmed. I'd say you should take a look at the Vivo X200 Pro, which I covered here, and also check this video out where I compared the S25 Ultra with the Vivo X200 Pro here. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. I'ma catch you in the next one. Cool that day.